about 20 minutes, it's like your mind just goes, all the things you have to do, right? Okay, I think we're ready to begin. So, good evening, everyone. We have a great turnout tonight, probably have a few more. And we do have seats here if you want to sit down, but some people want to stretch their legs. They sit all day. Anyhow, let's get to it. I'm joined by Laura Calaguire, our wonderful tax collector, who's our expert. And she was just mentioning to some folks that in November we were at the New Jersey League of Municipalities, where all the employees of the townships, mayors, officials, all convene. And they had the group of experts who were explaining this program. And we definitely went to that meeting and heard about some of the things that are in place, some of the things that were going to be put in place. And as of right now, we believe no one has even received any of the booklets. Is that correct? Has anyone received the booklet? No. How many of you participated in the tax freeze in the past? Okay. How many did not? Okay, so if you did participate in the past, it's likely you're going to get the book that Laura will explain that's being distributed and how it's to be completed. But if you didn't, you can file online and we'll talk about that. So I think we'll get started, and we have some slides for you to watch. And I'm going to turn it over to Laura if you want to come up. And
Thank you, Mayor.
we'll tag team together.
Really happy to be here tonight. And as the mayor said, when we attended the workshop in November, we both said there's so many things out there that are available to the taxpayers that they don't know about. So we committed at that time that we're going to get the information out there. So we put together the presentation. I'm going to explain it to you, explain all the things that are out there, and then we will have an opportunity at the end for questions. So if I go too fast, if I talk too fast, just raise your hand and I'll slow down. But we're going to try to do this as best as we can. Okay, so as the mayor had said, anyone that was receiving the PTR in the past, the property tax reimbursement, you will get a book this year. But that book is going to be a new booklet. So let's just go on and start from there. Okay, so the new program that's coming out, instead of getting the blue booklet that says PTR, it's going to say PSA 1. And this booklet is going to be one booklet. It's like a combined application, and it's going to be one booklet that you apply for all three programs. So you'll apply for the property tax reimbursement, the senior freeze, you'll apply for the anchor, and the new program that's coming out, and that's called the Stay New Jersey. So just to say, this booklet, whether you qualify for one or all three of them, you need to fill it out in the booklet. The state will decide which ones you qualify for. So the 2024 form is available. It is for anyone who is 65 years or older or receiving Social Security disability. It's for homeowners, mobile homeowners, and renters. A few people at the presentation last week had asked about the renters part because the anchor program is for renters as well. So if you're 65 years or older or receiving Social Security disability and rent, you have to fill out the PSA 1. As I mentioned, this is going to replace the PTR 1, the PTR 2, and the anchor applications. Some of you either received an anchor application in the past or you received a letter saying you qualified and you'll automatically receive it. This year you have to apply. So you're going to have to apply with the PSA 1. And I know the mayor had mentioned before, if you received the PTR in the past, you will get the PSA 1 and it's going to have your base amount in there. If you have not, we have ordered them in the tax office. We're waiting for them and we're supposed to get them by mid-March. We will have booklets available in the office for you. There is going to be an annual statement that the state is going to send out in November, and the statement is going to tell you, this is the amount that you were billed for your property taxes, this is what you got from your PTR, this is what you got from the anchor, and this is what you got from the state of New Jersey. That statement will be mailed out in November. Okay, the application is available now. You can go online and complete it, or you can print out the PDF, a PDF from it and fill it out that way. The only thing is, if you've received the PTR in the past, it's not going to have your base amount on it, so you want to wait for the booklet. The filing deadline for all 3 programs is October 31st, 2025. Okay, so for anyone that hasn't done the PTR, in order to qualify for the PTR or the property tax reimbursement, you need to be 65 years or older or receiving federal Social Security disability by December 31st of 2023. The reason it's 2023 is because the PTR is being given for your 2024 taxes. So you have to be eligible the year before.
And if I could just add on to that, so it just has to be one member of the household. So if you're filing jointly and one of the individuals is 65, you qualify, okay?
Yes.
The second thing I want to mention is, in the past, you would go down to see Laura at the town hall, and you would have her fill out and confirm that you paid your real estate taxes. You no longer have to do that. You will not be required to fill that out because the state already has the information.
Correct. They will be able to confirm your property tax amount. All right, the second, to be eligible for the PTR, you will have to have owned and lived in your home for 3 years. So you would have had to have been a resident living in your home since December 31st of 2020. So the total income for 2023 has to be $163,050 or less, and for 2024, $168,268 or less. So that's in order to qualify for the PTR. Yes, yes. Your anchor eligibility. So the anchor eligibility, you have to be a resident as of October 1st of 2024. Your gross income, if it's $150,000 or less and you're 65 years or older, you will receive $1,750. If you're 65 years or older and you're receiving, or if you're not 65 years or older, I'm sorry, but you're receiving Social Security disability and you earn under $150,000, you will receive $1,500. If you earn between $150,001 to $250,000, 65 or older, $1,250, Social Security disability, $1,000. If you own a mobile home or are a renter and earning $150,000 or less, $700, 65 or older, and $450 if you're receiving Social Security disability. Now, sure. All right, for this booklet, anyone that is under 65 will still be able to get the anchor, but they're going to file a different way. They're not using this application. You're welcome. All right, the new program that's coming out, it's called Stay New Jersey Eligibility. Stay New Jersey. And the eligibility for this program is you have to be 65 years or older. You have to be a New Jersey resident, a homeowner for a full tax year. The income for the prior year has to be less than $500,000. And if you qualify, you're entitled to 50% of your property taxes billed, a max of $6,500. So this is the one that everybody is going wow about. everybody, and I'm going to explain it and give you an example of how it's going to be done. This is the one that I just want to say, the state had said this to us, and I just want to communicate this as well. This is all contingent upon the budget being passed in June. So as long, and I know, but they're saying, all right, we're going to fund it, we're going to fund it, we're going to fund it. The budget gets passed in June, and that's when we'll know for sure. But I'm strongly encouraging and recommending you fill out the application and file for it, okay? So,
I believe that when we met with Craig Coughlin down in the league, he said that half of the amount was funded for the Stay New Jersey. But
so
again,
you should be getting the first,
Yes.
you should be getting at least half.
at least
But we'll
half.
see.
And
We believe you are.
as Laura said, there's a big message on here, important benefits for all the programs. It says all of them, included in the property tax relief application, are subject to the state budget. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, so for the New Jersey stay, it's your total income reported on your form, your New Jersey Form 1040. So if you have tax exempt interest or disbursements from IRAs or rollovers or retirements that are excluded from taxation and other things, your Social Security, all of that is included as part of your $500,000. So that will be included as your income. So the timeline for everything, the applications are supposed to be out by the end of February. They missed that deadline. Or mid-March. So hopefully by mid-March, you should receive them. Anyone that has qualified already, you'll receive it with your base amount. Anyone that this is your first time filing, we've ordered 200 booklets. We will have them in the office. And I think we can ask to have an email sent out. Like, we'll put it on the website and alert you some way that we have the booklets.
Absolutely.
We could do that. From the state. No, if you have previously qualified for the PTR, the property tax reimbursement. No, that's the PTR, the property tax reimbursement.
People called it the freeze.
The freeze, the
tax
senior freeze. If you have qualified for that, they automatically send that to you every year. If you have not, you could come into the office and get it. You can print it out online, and you can complete it online. So those booklets we're hoping to have within the next 2 weeks. Yes, the mayor just said we can send an announcement out.
We'll send an announcement. I'm sure it'll be in the papers, too. They're running behind.
Yeah.
So-
So as soon as we have them, we will let you know. And feel free, just give us a few more weeks, because I'm telling you, we don't have them. Give us a few weeks, and if you want, you can call the office anytime. So in June of 2025, that's when the state budget gets voted on, and that's when we'll know how much of everything is actually going to be funded. And I'm sure all of you will hear that way before us. July 15th of 2025, that is when they will begin sending out the property tax reimbursement checks, the senior freeze checks. That's the same timing as in the past. It's going to go according to the same thing. September 15th of 2025, they will begin to send out the anchor checks, whatever you are entitled to for that.
Some of you may have received a letter confirming your bank account information if you got the anchor in the past. We had some individuals who came and they said they got a letter from the state, they showed me the letter, and it asks if you're getting it directly deposited in your bank account, which is a lot safer if you can do that.
And then the Stay New Jersey, the new program, that will not be mailed until February of '26 and May of '26. So whatever you qualify for, you'll get half in February and half in May. The state is going, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to send you a statement saying, this was your taxes, this is what you got from the senior freeze, this is what you got from anchor, this is what you got from the state of New Jersey, and this is your net property taxes. That you'll get in November, which is, it's good because it'll help you for the following year also for budgeting. For information and questions, you can go to the website. It's here. On that website is where you can also either download the application, and it is available to fill out online if you want to fill it out online. The number that's there, that 888 number, you can call anytime. I'm going to warn you, it's a long wait, and it's hard to get someone on the phone. So please feel free to call our office. Our number's on there. And if you need extra help, if you have an issue, you haven't received your PTR booklet, and you have applied in the past, if there's a problem with receiving a check, we're fortunate because the state has a regional office, and it's right in Cranford. And I put that information on here. They are open Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4, walk-in hours only. There's no appointments, and there's no phone. But you can go there to get any kind of assistance. So what I tried to do here is give you a little example. And we're going to say, just for an example, you're 67 years old, you're earning $150,000 a year, and you receive the PTR already, and your base amount for your taxes now is $9,500. So for anyone does anyone here need to know how the property tax reimbursement works? I can explain it. Okay, yes. So the way the property tax reimbursement works, the year you qualify, that's called your base year. So then your taxes will stay at whatever they are for that year. So we'll say for this, your taxes in 2024, your qualifying year, were $9,500. So now that's going to be your taxes for as long as you live in that home. So now this year, you're applying, and your taxes are now $10,000. So the state, you pay the taxes to the town, and the state's going to reimburse you that $500.
Isn't that the way it always works? We have
That's
to
the way it's
collect the
always
money.
worked. That's
They
the way
give
it
it
always
out.
works. We collect it, but then the state reimburses you. Okay, so now,
And that's why they call it the freeze. Your taxes are frozen at that
Yes,
level, once
yes.
you're there.
okay, so you're 67, you're earning $150,000, your taxes are frozen at $9,500, you get billed $10,000 for your taxes in 2024. So now, according to this whole program with the state of New Jersey, you're entitled to $5,000 in total tax relief because that's 50% of your taxes. You're getting $500 from the anchor. I'm sorry, $500 from the PTR. You'll be entitled to $1,750 from the anchor. So the balance for the state of New Jersey is going to be $2,750. But as we mentioned, they're only committing to half of that. So the first 2 installments you will receive in February and May of 2026 of $687.50. The remaining, if everything's approved and the budget is passed, then you get that, and it'll be in the other quarters.
Any questions on that? Okay.
Okay, now, yeah, I'm ready to just take, go ahead. No. For the state of New Jersey, you had to be 65 in '24 because you're applying for '24, yes. Yes. Okay, someone asked this question the other day, and I actually called the state, and they told me not to advise, because I am not a CPA, I'm a tax collector, so ask your accountant. They told me not to give any advice on that. I said, okay. Like what they assumed it would be, but they said, we can't advise on that. Yes, that's gone. That was replaced by the anchor. The anchor replaced the homestead benefit. Yes. No, no, no. All right, so next year, you won't be eligible for the freeze, but you can apply for the state of New Jersey
And the anchor.
and the anchor. Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. Okay, shh.
And your base year is more than half of what the taxes are now, then would you get nothing from the new program, or would they
Well,
take some of that?
they won't take any, they're not going to take anything back from the PTR, but you're only entitled to 50% with the state of New Jersey. So your own. Correct. Yes, still apply. Yes. Yeah, the application, just like the PTR and the anchor, the application needs to be filed every year. I'm assuming the way they're going to work it is once you file using this PSA 1 this year, next year you'll automatically get it. Once you file, you'll just keep getting it the way they do with the PTR. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so even if you never qualified before, everyone's gonna fill out the same form.
Yes,
This is the form, PAS1, okay?
Yes.
So you can go online and file this form, or you can get a copy and fill it out. Correct.
correct.
You have to do something if you never.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, no, that's incorrect, because he just turned 65.
No, he's,
Yeah, but your anchor, you're going to have to, this
he has
is,
to file this to get the anchor, correct?
if you're 65 or older.
Yes.
He just turned 60, this is for 24, 65 or older for 24. He wasn't 65 and 24.
You don't have to be.
I know that, but this, all right, this
That's going to be
booklet,
separate. We said that before.
Yes.
If you're under 65 and you received the anchor in the past, what you need to do is file that separately. Anyone that's under 65 will file the anchor separately.
this booklet is if you were 65 or older and receiving Social Security disability benefits in 2024. So because you just turned 65, you're going to do the anchor the way you've done it in the past. You won't qualify for the other two this year. No. Next year. Yes.
So that form is replacing the property tax and the
Correct. Correct.
okay? Then in here, it says that the filing deadline is October 31st.
Correct, for all three.
For all three, however, on the timeline, it says that the senior freeze portion is issued in July,
Okay,
anchor is in September.
We'll explain that.
okay. So when
Here's the
she's
question.
asking.
How can you
it's-
get the money before you file?
Right.
And Laura's going to explain it.
So this is how they do it at the state, what they're and anyone that's received it before, when you file, then as you file it, they send them out. So if you file for it before July, you'll get your check in July. If you don't file until October, you won't get it until
It's like the
November.
IRS refund.
it's
If
the
you get a
same thing.
refund, you don't get the refund until you file, correct?
But if you were to
This is
file
going to
now-
apply the same way. After you file, if you file right away, as soon as these booklets are available or available online and you file, you'll probably get the check by July.
You'll get your PTR in July, your anchor in September, and the state of New Jersey next year.
But if you're off in Tahiti or somewhere else and you didn't file, you still have till October 31st. So enjoy yourself. You still have time.
Nope. I know. The state had told us they were planning to have the applications out by the end of February, middle of March. It is online. You can go online, you can print them out, you can file online. We have not received the booklets, and anyone I've spoken to as they're coming in to the office, they have not received it.
Does anyone think they'll file online? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. None.
If the only benefit to waiting is if you have applied for the PTR in the past. Have you qualified in the past? Then you want to wait for your booklet because your base amount's in there. So you have to wait for the booklet.
Well, what if you know the base amount?
It's better to wait for them because
Okay.
they imprint it right in the booklet. The state.
Yes.
They're telling us by mid-March.
When we went to the meetings in November, yeah.
You can? I'm thinking you're going to get them by mid-March. They'll be out. But you could even call that number, the 888 number. I know. I'm sorry. I plan to call in 2 weeks if I don't have my booklets to ask. So I will, if I get any information, we will send it out or put it on the website to let you all, to let everyone know. Correct. Because
Right,
your
but you'll have the
base
base
amount.
year will be in there. It'll be easier for you and for them because it will have been verified.
That's okay.
That's okay. You'll get the benefit if you file a joint return. If you file a joint return and only one of the individuals is 65 and the other is not,
But I do want to say too, you have to file a joint return, but you also have to both be on the deed. Okay. Correct,
yes.
correct. Yes, it depends on if whichever one is 65 years or older by December 31st of '23,
That was for the PTR, for PTR,
of '23.
property
For the
tax relief.
PTR, yes.
A little confusing. Okay.
You don't have to do that. No, I don't believe it's even in there. You can look.
They
here
have
to
the
see if they
information.
asked the property tax amount? They told us they're going, which they have access to our information, so they're going to obtain the property tax from there. So you're not going to have to fill
Getting
that.
very sophisticated.
Yes.
Okay, so the question was it based on gross income? Yes, it is based on gross income.
Yeah. You can, you can do it online. If this is your first time ever applying and you haven't applied, you don't need the base amount, I would suggest doing it online.
Who thinks they're going to file online?
And if I could-
Okay.
If I could just let everyone know too, the town is also installed a computer that's going to be right outside of my tax window for the residents to use. So if you need help filling something out, you need help submitting, you need help looking it up, we will be able to help you. Yes, we'll have the computer there, and just don't come in during tax time. Anyone that comes in to pay
Don't
your
come May
taxes, you know
1st
why.
to May 10th, and
Yeah,
don't come
and right
next
now,
week.
the 15th, March 15th to the 25th is sewer, and the 1st to the 10th. But if you come in, we'll be able to help you. That's why we're having it installed.
Okay, I want to ask, so quite a few of you said you're thinking about doing it online. Don't forget, we have computers at the library available if you need them. Does everyone, did anyone ever hear of ID Me? Okay. If you do file online, you will need to either have your ID ME, or you're going to have to be prepared when you file to have the documentation needed to prove your identity. And I can explain that later. We'll get back to that later. We'll take some other questions first.
I'm sorry, you had a question? Okay. So if it's in a family trust, the person who qualifies, it has to have living rights, that has to be within it. That's how they worked it with the PTR, like, if my house had living, it was in a trust, but I had living rights, so for as long as I was alive, so, yeah. So that you can still, because I know some people, I think kids have taken it and done it in a trust to try to protect their parents, and then the parents came in saying, but wait, I'm still paying all the taxes and I can't get this, and I said, no. And that was the way you get, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, at least then you'll have so the question was, even if I get the form, should I still go online? Then you'll have your base year amount from the state that they gave you. So then you can go online and do it that way.
Correct.
Just input that base year that you got from the booklet, so you have the booklet to prove it, and things should go smoothly that way.
Okay. Yes.
I'm sure it will, because of all the fraud that's going on.
And-
It is preferred to have all of your deposits transmitted electronically.
And I was also told that with the anchor, if you need to change that information, you can go online to change that as well for the anchor. So you won't have a base. You have to you have to be approved first, qualify first, and they establish a base year.
So in the future, you'll get the base of the year when you start to file. You won't have
No.
a base. It'll be the base tax amount.
Whatever
In
your
the year
tax,
that you start to file for that freeze.
how old are you? Oh, so you had to have owned your house since December of 2020. So you can't even apply this year for the PTR. For the anchor and the New Jersey, absolutely, use the same form, but you won't qualify for it, so then it'll be next year you will. So then, next year, it'll be for 2025 taxes, so whatever your taxes are for 2025, that will become your base year.
Go ahead, Nancy.
All right, one of them is your first year when you have to qualify for the 2 years for first. And the other one is after you've qualified. It's just the one you fill it. And I'm sorry, I don't know the difference. But it doesn't matter because now it's PSA 1. So one is the 2 years of qualifying, so you have to fill it out with 2 years of income, 2 years of taxes. And then the other one is every year after. That's the PTR, not the anchor. The anchor, you have to live in your home as of October 1st, by October 1st of 2024 for the anchor. But the PTR, you have to live in your home for 3 years. Correct. It starts over again. Anybody else? Yes? You'd have to come into the office. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Mhm.
So you qualify for the other programs, though? No, stay New Jersey.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, no. Oh, because you just turned this
Yeah.
recently.
And you're
In
not going
25.
to use, no, he just turned 65. So
In
you're not going to,
2025.
you're not going to use that PSA 1 form at all this year
You're ahead of the game.
and file it the same way as you have in the past. You could do it all on this. Yes. New Jersey, 1040.
Okay, so the income is based on New Jersey income, not federal, not what you file on the federal tax, because there's a lot of income
They say
that's
that they
paid
told
for
us the
upfront
1040, so I don't
in
know.
New Jersey. In New Jersey, some compensation, if you have withdrawals from certain plans, you pay that tax now.
But so the New
It's not
Jersey,
deferred like some of the federal, like on a
Yeah.
401K, et cetera.
the New Jersey stay is taking your total gross income from the 1040.
Okay, so the ID Me, you create your own identity, which is recognized by filing a federal return and also the state return. And you can only have one. As I used one, my personal one, and I needed one for work, and it was a little bit of a, there was some trouble with that. So some of the documents, there's two different types of identification, primary identification and secondary. And the primary is usually like driver's license, passport card, or a passport. We don't really have state ID here. So there's a lot of other examples of the primary type of identification. Let me see if there's any others listed here.
With the ID Me, when you go online to fill out your application, they're just going to ask you certain questions, and then they're going to give you a certain way to log in, like a specific way for you to log in, so they don't have to keep asking you all that.
Right, so if you go to Laura's office and you want to file the return, you want her assistance, you have to bring these documents, otherwise you won't even be able to
Yeah.
get started without that ID Me. Or it might be at the end of the process.
I think the ID Me is only necessary if you're going to have it direct deposited. I think you can still fill the application out with, and get the check mailed to you.
Yes.
And
This is for those that want to file electronically
Yes,
only.
yes.
The ID Me. Some of the secondary items are like Social Security card is one.
Yes, yes,
It's the same thing.
It's
If
the
you
same
have that
thing.
already and you have that written down, that's what you use.
yes.
You only have one ID-ME, ID Me. You already,
Then you're good. Well,
You're
you
good,
probably
yeah.
had that from the anchor, right?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, then you
You probably-
should have an ID.
you probably have it already.
Last year, with the ID or the supplemental forms, will the state still have that?
Yes. You should, they should still have it.
Right, so they're asking if you had that information last year, it'll be the same.
It should be the same, yes. Anyone else? Okay, you're welcome. And if you have any more questions, you can call the office. You can call the state. I know the state number, though. I mean, believe me, I've waited 45 minutes myself. it's hard to get through. And you can stop in Cranford. Again, once the applications are in the office, we'll know we have them. We will send some kind of notification out. If anyone here hasn't already signed up for email, if you want, I can, yeah, I have a piece of paper. I could take your name and your email address, and I can give that to Elizabeth. She'll add you to our email file, and then you'll get an email for any kind of notifications for the town. But we will send a notification out saying the booklets are available.
And also, this presentation will be has been recorded, and it'll be available online on YouTube.
If you look you have the presentation, the back page there, the third page from the back. I gave you my number, and I gave you the state's number and the address for the regional office in Cranford.
Oh, so you're talking about the Division of Taxation?
Yeah.
So the number, if you're at home, is 1-888-323-4400. It's numbered on page number 6 here. That's the New Jersey Division of Taxation. Don't get frustrated if you don't get an answer right away.
No,
Try to
it
call
could take almost 45
early in the
minutes on
morning,
hold.
or, yeah, try early in the morning.
Okay. Anyone else? Thank you for coming out tonight, and please, if anyone that missed it, tell them to watch it. It'll be live. Come pick up a pamphlet.
Thank you all.
Yes.
Have a good
Let me
evening.
just get a pen.